Hello everybody, ProtoFoxy here, coming back at you with another deck tech. We're going right back into Pauper land here, which happens to be my favorite format. And now this is a bit more of a homebrew than anything else. I actually got the idea for this deck once War of the Spark dropped, and I saw some cards and I thought, there may be some interesting interactions with the zombie archetype in Pauper, so I went ahead and gave it a try, and I'll tell you this right now, that this deck actually works really, really well. It's super aggressive. I would say that it has some ability to go a little wide, and I'll explain it in the interactions, but unlike your typical suicide black, mono black aggro, and zombie black aggro decks in Pauper, this deck has a couple of little tricks up its sleeve, and I'll go into it with the interactions here in a second. This is Rakdos zombies in Pauper, so I'll just stop jawing about what that about all that stuff about the deck and just go into the card selection, and then we'll talk about it. So here we have 4 carrion feeders. Anybody who plays Pauper, anybody who has used this card knows what it's there for. Just a very, very efficient, aggressive zombie. We have Shepherd of Rot, which again in the Pauper format, if you're going to play zombie tribal, you're going to use this guy because he just he benefits playing tribal. And then we have 4 Gem Palm Polluters. Now, you are almost never hard casting this guy. You are going to cycle this guy. Oh, excuse me. You are going to cycle this guy. And then, obviously, for all your zombies in play, your opponent is going to take some life loss there. Now, for the new cards from War of the Spark, we have 4 Grim Initiates. Now, this card is very interesting. One drop, a single red one drop. He's a 1/1. He gets first strike, and then when he dies, you amass 1, which is obviously when you're amassing, you're creating a zombie army token and then putting +1/+1 counters for its amass, which actually creates an incredibly interesting interaction with Shepherd of Rot and Gem Palm Polluter. You can obviously go in, attack. If you need to, sacked carrion feeder. You're creating your tokens, and just a really, really fun, flavorful, very, very synergistic card with this deck, and it works really well. And then we have Lazatep Reaver, which again, from War of the Spark, and it when it enters the battlefield, it amasses 1, and again, similar to Grim Initiate, just aggressively costed, decent creature, can block, blah, 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 blah. But you're really wanting to create tokens and obviously keep your zombie count up for Shepherd of Rot and Gem Palm Polluter. Coming to the spell package here, we have 2 Duresses. I think I should probably go up more, but right now I'm running 2. We have 4 Tragic Slips. Now, I know what a lot of people are thinking. Why aren't you running Doomblade or any other, more common removal spells that are in the Pauper format? Well, because this deck will almost always be triggered on Morbid, because you'll be sacking creatures to carrion feeder and whatnot. So that's why I went with that one. I may drop 1 to add another duress just to keep to keep discard pressure on. We have 4 Nameless Inversions, which is obviously for tribal purposes. This is a good removal spell. And then it can also be brought back with Ghoulcaller's Chant. And this card works really well in this deck. Obviously, you're going to be popping back, two zombie target 2 zombie cards from your graveyard, which works really well with the deck and keeps pressure on your opponent. This card obviously needs no explanation for why it's here. You're playing red, and you're playing red in any format. You're going to play Lightning Bolt. We have 3 Terminates, again, just for targeted removal. And then we go into the mana base. Pauper, kind of difficult to play multicolored decks, but we have the ability to do so with 3 Terramorphic Expanses and an Evolving Wild. We have 4 Rakdos Crenariums, bounce lands. And this really works really well in this deck, obviously, because we have a lot of aggressive costed creatures and spells, so adding 2 mana with a Rakdos Cranarium works really well, at least it has in my testing. We have Bloodfell Caves. Obviously, the life gain if you're playing against aggro and burn and whatnot helps you out, but obviously a way to cast red or black. We have 3 basic mountains. We have 5 basic swamps. And that is the deck. This is Rakdos, Zombies, and Pauper. This deck, in testing, has worked really, really well. It plays the aggressive game plan, obviously, really well. But I was really surprised at its ability to go wide. Obviously, I do have sideboards for it. This is just the main board. Obviously, adjusted to your local meta. But I really suggest giving this deck a shot. It's a lot of fun to play. It actually has a lot of surprise tricks that a lot of people won't see coming in the Pauper format. You see the deck build? Go ahead and put it together. Leave comments on what you think. And tell me how it performs if you happen to build it and play it against your friends, play it online. It's a lot of fun. I actually really highly recommend this deck. And like I said, once I saw some of the cards in War of the Spark, I started brewing. But there it is. Rakdos, Zombies, and Pauper. Hopefully y'all have a great day. You like the video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you like. Y'all stay safe out there and have fun.